Don't mind your business, mind my podcast, Mind Elixir. Hi, and welcome to or back to my podcast. If you don't already know me, my name is Ayoka, and I just wanted to chat about, life recently, what's been going on with me. And honestly, right now, I'm recording this in the middle of June. Summer is in full swing. School has officially ended and it's been ended. And I just wanted to talk about all of that, like what I've learned throughout the year and also what I'm looking forward to this summer, although we're already kind of into summer, but still. But something that kind of really just put my podcast into perspective somewhat recently in these last few weeks is the fact that on Friday, I believe it was near the end of May, like May 19th or something. That Friday was the anniversary of my podcast. And I was just like, wow. So basically, I've had this podcast for 3 years, which it really doesn't feel like that at all because I don't know, it just doesn't feel like that. It just feels like something that I've had kind of in the background. I know I was super involved on this podcast in the beginning, and now it's just like, it's just there, kind of. But yeah, it was just kind of making me very nostalgic, but also I'm proud of myself for keeping this up for so long, you know? And sometimes I kind of want to go listen back to an older episode, but at the same time, I'm just thinking, okay, do I really want to do that? And maybe embarrass myself. So I'm like, nah, maybe I'll listen to my older episodes whenever I'm in college. But as of right now, it's a no. But it's kind of like a time capsule of what I've been thinking or who I am. A bit like tiny audio time capsules of what I've been doing since not sophomore, freshman, eighth grade year or whatever. So that's really cool. But also, before we get into this episode, make sure to follow me on Instagram at mindelixir.podcast if you want to keep up with other things in my life. And you can always ask questions or suggest ideas. Just DM me on Instagram. And also, there's my other socials, Goodreads and Pinterest, which are linked in the description and in the link tree. So, these last 3 years of high school have been slightly underwhelming, to be honest. Always see in the movies they're having these, grand awakenings, these dramatic parties, these crazy things, and it could just be because of the social circle or like who I interact with and all of that I haven't experienced that. But I think it's really just unique for everyone. And either way, I'm glad for all the experiences that I've gone through because they have all led me to where I am here today, in the present. But I don't think that anything drastic has changed me or within me or any drastic event has occurred to me during high school. And I'm completely fine with that. But yeah. And it's still so crazy to me how I'm literally almost an adult. I still feel like a 16-year-old girl. And the other day, I was filling out job applications. It's actually crazy how many jobs I've applied to. Not even crazy. It's kind of embarrassing. Actually, no, let me flip the script because it's not embarrassing. It just shows that I am very persistent. I filled out so many job applications because, I'm trying to make some money over the summer, get my own source of income, add a little bit of independence because I've never had my own job. And it was just like, wow. But what was I saying about jobs? Oh, yeah. I was going to say that while I was filling out my job application, I put 16 instead of 17. And the thing I was thinking about is just in a few months, in less than half a year, I am going to be 18 years old, like a legal adult. So that's so crazy to me. And really, just speaking of jobs in general, soon I'm going to have so many responsibilities. And I think that my world is just going to completely change whenever I go to college. I'm going to be moving. Maybe, I don't know. I might be moving away from my parents. It depends. I still haven't really, even decided where I want to go to college. And there's still applications to fill out, but that's all coming so soon. Just in a few months, I'm going to have to be applying to college. And I need to actually get started writing my essay as well. And honestly, When it comes to college, I have like no strong emotion towards or against it. I definitely do want to go to college, of course, but I don't necessarily wish that I could just stay 17 forever and never have to go off to college. But I'm not exactly like, super excited to move out of high school as fast as possible either. I just want to like, savor the moment and go with the flow because I feel like there's still so many things to do. But then at the same time, I'm thinking, okay, but there's still so many things to do in the future as well. Wait, that kind of sounds repetitive. But you know what I mean. I feel like in college, I'm going to make so many more memories and do so many more things. Like a few weeks, last week, 2 weeks ago, basically I went on vacation to Maryland to visit my grandmother and also my aunts. My mom's side of the family is up there. So we stayed with them for about a week and a half. And during that time period, I actually went on two college tours. I toured Johns Hopkins and then also Howard University. And that really actually kind of got me little bit excited, but also nervous for college because I was literally on campus seeing Johns Hopkins, this prestigious university, and seeing these students. And the campus was so beautiful, also, actually. I loved it. And just, the summertime vibes there. And then I was just like, wow, because if you don't know, I want to go into something in the medical field, and Johns Hopkins, they are known for that. So that kind of got me excited for that. They have their own hospital at the school. They're known as a research institution. So really just surrounded by all of that, it made me feel very inspired. And then also at Howard University, that's a historically Black college and university. I believe it's the only HBCU that has a hospital, or one of the big ones, that one of the major HBCUs that has a hospital on campus as well. And honestly, I'm not writing it off, but something I did like was really the vibe of just all the Black people there. One of the girls, our tour guide, she was talking about how the girls in the dorms, they'll have someone that can do hair, someone that can do nails, someone that can do your lashes, someone that can do your makeup. And I love that. And something that I am looking forward to is joining a sorority, because I know my grandmother was part of a sorority. And I'd love to do something like that, just having the community, the sisterhood. That seems pretty cool. So, yeah, that is something that kind of made me feel a bit more inspired and less hopeless about this whole college application process, you know? And, yeah, that's pretty much it about college and all of that. But just reflecting on this school year and what I wish I did and how it was overall, I think that this year was definitely tough on my mental health. I know that like junior year is notorious for being just tough in general. And, everyone's like, yeah, junior year is the hardest year. You're going to struggle. You're going to be crying every day, blah, blah, blah. And, I definitely wasn't crying every day, but it was very tough. And like, if you want to hear more about my mental health and all that, blah, 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 you can listen to to my episode on mental health and school. But yeah, during the November, December, January time period, I was so stressed out constantly. And I just wanted to like give up in school and sometimes in life too. But here I am, obviously. We love that. And that really just goes to show that there's always going to be like good and bad moments, time periods in life, What's that saying? You can't have rainbows without rain, I believe. Yeah, like the good moments or the better moments in life are always there's always going to be something. I don't want to say there's always going to be something bad, but not everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows, which I say a lot. But do I always keep that in mind? No, but I do need to actually keep that in mind and remember that. So that's something to remember. And I think that you just need to take all these moments and struggles that we have in life and just be grateful for them. And even if we aren't grateful in the moment, because obviously, like, if you're struggling in school, you're not going to be like, wow, I'm so grateful that I'm going through this hard time. Yeah, like, obviously, you're not going to be grateful in the moment. But now I am grateful because because those challenges and struggles give me the insight for who I am. today. And obviously, like I said before, it's not like I was super changed, but it's just that those bad days made the good days even better. And if every day was good, then life would just be mundane and good would be the norm, if that makes sense. But I do think that you can find goodness, positivity in every day. And also, this may just be me, but you know how people say there's seasonal depression? I'm not saying I have that, but I feel like the weather definitely affected how I felt because whenever I felt worse during the school year, it was winter, it was gloomy every day, it was cold, and I did not like that at all. I was freezing my legs off, freezing my hands off, freezing everything off in the classroom and outside of the classroom. And I just wanted to cozy up and go to bed and go to sleep all the time. And, whenever you go outside and it's gloomy, it's not exactly putting you in the best mood. So that may have affected how I felt too. Also, during the school year, one of my teachers got fired. And something I've noticed is that it seems like every single year there's always something going on with one of my teachers. Like one of them's getting fired, one of them's on suspension, something's going on. This year, it was one of my teachers got fired near the end of the school year. Last year, one of my teachers was gone for a few weeks because of some incident that happened. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about that, but that was kind of difficult because it was one of my hardest subjects and that teacher was just gone. And it's not exactly a subject that you could self-learn. And I remember the year before that, I believe my teacher, she got fired at the beginning of the school year. So yeah, lots of things happening with my teachers. But something I realized is that I just need to be more appreciative of teachers. It's not that I was, disregarding their hard work or anything, but sometimes I feel like we just take teachers for granted. And yeah, it is their job. They are getting paid to be there. But also, some teachers, they put in the extra work and, you've got to appreciate that for them and for putting in the work to be kind and be nice and do what they have to do to make you learn and just make your learning experience better. So I appreciate that because sometimes I feel like I am just a bit robotic to my teachers because I'll just be like, good morning, can you help me with this? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just on autopilot. And my parents actually say that a lot. They say that whenever I'm interacting with people, sometimes I just go on autopilot. I just go through the pleasantries, skip the small talk, get straight to the point. But it's like teachers are human too, Sometimes you might want to ask them about how they're doing and this and that, rather than just the automatic responses. And overall, for junior year, I am so glad to have actually made a friend. And I feel like this year I was really just more chatty and more open to talking to new people around my age. And not even just new people, but people that I've known or people that I went to middle school with. Like I was talking to them again. So that was nice. And next year, I'm really excited because I'm going to be doing this health science practicum and I'll hopefully be getting some hands-on experience at hospitals and stuff like that. Because, that'd be really nice. And maybe I can get like a certificate or something. I don't really know. I need to go plan that out and check that out. And speaking of hands-on experience at a hospital, I am also supposed to be shadowing this summer as well, shadowing a doctor. So we'll see how that goes. And I think I'm also going to do another college tour at Trinity University or some university in Texas because obviously I'm in Texas, that's home. So I'll probably be doing some university tours over here over the summer as well. And when it comes to deciding which college I want to go to, something that I've kept in mind is I don't want to just go to a college just because it's fancy. Like, I don't want to go to Harvard just because, ooh, Harvard, fancy, big name, big brand. Because I feel like something a lot of people don't keep in mind or don't necessarily talk about is the actual environment of the college. I don't want to go to a college that's just obsessed with grades and doesn't care about who you are as a person or who you are outside of the classroom. And I'm not saying Harvard is like that. I'm just using that as an example. And I'll see all these students talk about, yeah, I have perfect grade. I'll see these students on TikTok. Obviously, I don't have TikTok anymore, but I remember I saw this TikTok about a student talking about, yeah, I have perfect grades. I've done this. I've done that. I have all fives on my AP test. And then they got rejected from some super high ranking university. And it's like, yeah, because colleges are looking for people that are well rounded. They're not just looking for someone that looks good on paper. They're looking for someone that has a passion outside of school or can apply their interest in school to a passion, if that makes sense. Or at least that's what I think, and that's what I'm trying to do. Because, yeah, school is great, but you don't want to just make that the center of your life. You want to apply the learning and the knowledge that you have in school and that curiosity to inspire you to do bigger and better things. So that's my philosophy on that. But I do wish there were some other HBCUs that focused or were focused in the medical field or were really big in science down here in Texas, because I haven't really been seeing much of that. And something that is drawing me towards HBCUs is the fact that there's that community of being with other Black people and getting to meet all Black people of all spectrums across the diaspora. So I think that'd be really cool. And like I was saying before, I do want to stay focused on school this for senior year, but I also want to focus on my identity outside of school and just working on curating and creating my dream girl. Honestly, for college, I'm really just hoping that these scholarships can help me out. Next year, maybe after senior year, I can find some internships to do. But as of this summer, I was looking for internships, but unfortunately, I didn't find any. So maybe I'll find some next summer, the summer of senior year before college. Dang, I keep saying college, and it's like, wow, it's coming so soon. It's like a train just speeding ahead. And something that I do want to do for senior year definitely is just to keep a scrapbook of memories, because I know halfway into junior year I was like, oh, I should start a scrapbook, but then I was like, okay, maybe it's a bit too late. And then I just didn't even end up taking scrapbook worthy pictures. But this year I definitely want to do that because it's going to be my last year of high school and I really want to savor that and just have something that I can look back on, something physical, like a scrapbook with pictures, not even just pictures, but like a decorated scrapbook with maybe stickers, tickets, memories, journal prompts, whatever's in it, just a miscellaneous scrapbook with a bunch of stuff. And I think that overall, it's just like I'm growing up and I need to gain more independence. I think that people make growing up and the transition to adulthood to be this huge thing. But in reality, for me, it's really just been this gradual thing that I'm almost not even processing. I mean, I've got my driver's license now and I've realized that that just gives me a lot more freedom to move around on my own, but I do actually need to learn how to get places by myself because as of right now, I've really only been to the gym, which I'm proud of myself for doing because, actually keeping up with my goals of going to the gym, who knew? Wow. But yeah, the reason I've been going to the gym a lot recently is because I'm trying, keyword trying, to build up to doing a 5K by the end of the summer. And I think that running, running cardio, it kind of just makes me really happy, getting my heart rate up and it feels so upbeat. But I do need to work on resistance training as well, strengthening those muscles, not just keeping a happy heart. And I know that whenever I move out, I will gain a lot of responsibilities such as taxes and doing your own groceries, blah, blah, blah. And am I ready for that? I don't know, but I'm going to have to get ready for that. And my parents, I think they don't really let me go out and do a lot of stuff by myself, but at the same time, it's not like I have the opportunity to do a lot of stuff by myself. But I do think that now they are starting to accept that I'm older and letting me, giving me a bit more freedom, if that makes sense. And I think that if I do go away to college, like move out actually and start living on campus by being by myself, it might be a bit of a shock, a bit of a transition for me because it's not really like I've had the huge social circle to go out and do things by myself or like, with other people, go to parties, all of that. But I know a lot of people my age, at least at my school, they stay out late with their friends, they go driving to football games, they've gone to parties with alcohol and weed and stuff, and definitely those last two, I would not be doing that. But just other things, I'm thinking about like how I've never experienced that. So I'm thinking, okay, if I do experience that, it's going to be a transition. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to be a shift. And there's also people that have their own jobs. And I'm actually supposed to be finding out whether I got the job that I interviewed for on Sunday today. So we'll see. And I think that having my own job, it would not only make me better at interacting with other people, but it also actually give me my own source of income and I could learn how to manage my money and do all of that. So, as for more about my summer plans anyway. When I was younger, I used to do so let me give you a bit of a backstory. Whenever I was younger, I used to do sports such as track, gymnastics, and even just a year or two ago, I did taekwondo. And I really wanted to get back into that. So that was why I was talking about doing a 5K. And in addition to the 5K, I want to do fun activities that are like active activities like hiking, running, maybe even tennis. I don't know. Just fun activities that I can do outside in nature before because although it is very hot, sweltering outside. It felt like 110 degrees the other day. But you've got to enjoy the summer while it lasts. And maybe I can even go swimming too, because I have not gone swimming in like 2 years, it feels like. So yeah. Also recently, I've been obsessed, when I tell you obsessed, with going to farmers markets. And I've just realized that there's so many hidden gems here in Texas. So I really want to start exploring and finding like cute little vegan bakeries, vintage shops, maybe like mini waterfalls and stuff like that I can check out. I actually made a bucket list, and one of the things I want to do is aerial yoga and then also reformer Pilates. And I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself to just stick to this bucket list, get everything done. But it was really just more of a guide encouraging me to go out and explore and just do fun things over the summer, I don't want to waste this time. I don't want to just be laying around bored all day. So yeah. Also, I don't want to say I've been reading a lot recently, but I have been reading recently. And currently, I'm reading the Dragonette Prophecy series, which is kind of a middle age. Whenever I say middle age, middle age, not middle age, middle grade book. And these books, I used to read this series all the time in middle school. So it's kind of like a throwback for me. I'm reading the books that I kind of just dropped off the series. So now I started reading it again, like I guess however many years it was since I read it. So it's, this series, I used to love it in middle school. So it's kind of giving me that throwback, those memories. And I like that. And Okay, as for any lessons I've learned over junior year, over this school year, I would say that you have to be willing to actually put in the work to change your position in life. If you just have a constant negative outlook or mindset, nothing's going to change for the better. And basically something that I've been saying, but I need to actually do, is to focus on how I react to situations. Like I need to actually think before I act instead of just getting upset at minor situations or things that could be misinterpretations, things getting twisted, all of that. And yeah, also a quote to end this episode off with that I really liked. I don't even know where I found it. I was just online on Pinterest or something. Is always continue the climb. It is possible for you to do whatever you choose if you first get to know who you are and are willing to work with a power that is greater than ourselves to do it. Ella Wheeler Wilcox. So yeah, I really liked that quote. And if you're listening to this episode, well, obviously you are, but either way, if you're on YouTube or Spotify, comment or respond to the question with something that you're looking forward to doing this summer. And if you enjoyed this episode, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or just let me know what you think of it. And make sure to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. Have a lovely rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.